Hello my good people out there. You are welcome to Literature Hub 247, a free online literature class where the arts and science of literature are discussed. This class is totally free. You can be part of the class by just a click on the subscribe button and the bell icon. Just click on the subscribe button and the bell icon and you have access to all our videos. And whenever we produce any video, you will be notified. This particular video is about a non-African play titled Fences. Fences is written by August Whitson. In this video, we are going to discuss the 2023 WAEC questions on the text. Before we go into the class, I want to advise that you first watch one of my videos titled How to Answer Literature and English Questions in WAEC and NECO. Because in that video, I explain the new guidelines, the new dimensions that have just been introduced by WAEC in answering literature and English questions, as we shall see in this video. But for you to understand what we are going to do in the class now, you need to watch that video first. You can just make the request through the message box that as you send you the link to how to answer literature and English questions in WAEC and NECO. And I will do that. Let's now go into the classroom. The first question says, what does Troy's perception of death portray about him in Fences? What does Troy's perception of death portray about him in Fences? The first thing, as usual, is to relate the question to the theme of the play. The main theme of the play is racial discrimination and its effects on the lives of the black community in America in the 1950s. The life and death of Troy are connected with his experience of racial discrimination. So we have done that. The next thing is the character identification. That is, we are going to identify the characters mentioned in the question. I've explained all this in the video that I said that you should watch first. Troy Maxim is the protagonist of the play. He is the father of Leon, Corey, and Renee. He is the husband of Rose and Alberta, whom he engages in extramarital affairs. Troy is Gabriel's brother, and Bono is his bosom friend. He is bold and hardworking. He works in a garbage collecting company. Instances of Troy's mention of death. While talking about death, Troy refers to it in baseball terms as nothing but a fastball on the outside corner, quote unquote. He believes that talking about death is part of life. He says, everybody gonna die, you're gonna die, I'm gonna die, Bono gonna die, hell are all gonna die. That is from the man, from Troy. Troy claims that he saw death and spoke to him in the middle of July 1941. He said he wrestled with death for 3 days and nights. And at the end, he won't dead, but he promised that he will be back. That is, death promised him that he will be back. This is an example of foreshadow. He believes that death is an army and nothing to play with. He doesn't hide his belief that death will get in. Now, what Troy's perception of death portrays about him? We are already in the mainstream of the question that we are asked to do. So, this is it now. Troy's acceptance that death is nothing to play with portrays him as a realist. So, this portrays him as a realist. It also presents him as a fearless person. He says he once fought death while he had pneumonia. We also see him as someone that values life. He is not fatalistic in his approach to the phenomenon of death. He sees himself as being immortal, that is, that cannot die, when he sees death as nothing but a fastball on the outside corner, quote unquote. Now, significance of Troy's perception of death in the play. What is the significance? The several references made by Troy to death show the importance the play places on death and immortality. It also strengthens his resolve to hold fast to life. His reference to death foreshadows the calamity that befalls him at the end. He dies at the end of the play. So that is the first question. Now the next question. Show why Bono is committed to his friendship with Troy in Fences. Show why Bono is committed to his friendship with Troy in Fences. Relation to theme. The effects of racial discrimination on the lives of African Americans is the main theme of the play. The two friends are seriously affected by racial discrimination, and despite this, the bond between them is strong. Now, character identification. Troy Maxson is a 53-year-old African American son of an unsuccessful sharecropper. He is the husband of Rose and Alberta, whom he married through extramarital affairs. Troy is the father of Leon, Corey, and Renee, Alberta's daughter. He is Gilbert's brother and friend to Bono. The two friends work in Rand Sanitation Company as garbage collectors. Jimmy Bono is also an African American like Troy, who has been his friend of 30 years. He is the husband of Lucy and is loyal to her. Bono is committed because of Troy's honesty. Now let's look at that. Bono sees honesty in Troy as he determines to do what is right. He promises Rose fence and he builds it. He lets Leon's money and cares for Gabriel. Troy's confession of his infidelity to Rose shows him as an honest person. Though Rose doesn't accept it, he explains to her that it is time for her to know. Bono sees Troy as somebody that likes to uphold what is right in life. This is as a result of his comments about how customers are well treated at Bella's rather than A&P's. He says he will spend his money where he is treated right. Bono also sees Troy as somebody worthy of emulation. He says Troy has shown him how not to make mistakes, as he wouldn't want to commit any mistakes in life. Next is Bono is committed because of Troy's capacity for hard work. So he sees Troy as an hardworking person. Bono sees Troy as a very hardworking. He meets him at home working assiduously on the fence he promised Rose. Troy was also a diligent player of baseball during his time as a baseball player. Bono appreciates him for this. He also likes the way Troy handles the needs and finances of his family. Bono is committed because of Troy's boldness and strength. So he sees Troy as somebody that is committed to whatever he's doing. Very bold. Troy fights for the elevation of the blacks from garbage lifters to truck drivers. Blacks were not allowed to drive trucks at the company until Troy spoke against it. The act of oppression is stopped and it paved the way for him to be promoted to truck driver. Bono learns to be a disciplined father from Troy. He says Troy has taught him not to do things haphazardly. Let's go to what he says there. To take life as it carries along and keep putting one foot in front of the other, quote and unquote. So that is the second question. Note, the print in red ink are not part of the answers. They only serve as guides as set out by WAEC. That is all these expressions in red ink. They are not part of the question. What I'm saying in a sense is that when you ask your own question, you don't need to write relation to team, character identification. Bono is committed because of Troy's bonus and strength. You don't need to do that. I put them there just for you to understand the guidelines. That is how WAEC expects you to answer the questions. So that is why they are put there. So that is the answer to the questions. If you have any question, just send it through the message box. Like this video. You are free to share it on any social media platform. You can also invite your friends to join us. If you have any comment also, just send it to the message box, to the comment box, and I will attend to it. Up next, we'll meet in the next class.